Right, traders, welcome to the official afternoon session, coaching session for the new trading strategies here. And so let's go ahead and dive in. As you know, can't guarantee results. Products and services are for educational purposes. All right. Great. So let's go ahead and pull up the cheat sheets here and take a look at what we got going on. So let's start with the reversal trade. I think that one is the most unique, maybe. How do you delete the EMAs on the right? You can go into the indicator and where it says price marker in Ninja, you want to turn that off. And so if you turn off price marker in Ninja, that will get rid of them. Cool. Sweet. So this is a reversal using custom Fibonacci-based exponential moving averages as a crossing signal for creating reversal zones. The idea of this trade is not to just get in as soon as you see the setup. The idea is to get a zone wrapped around an area that you wish to trade and then trade it when it comes back to the area. So it's more like an area of interest type of deal. Okay. Obviously, we have our range charts, standard range charts. We have the EMAs, which the numbers are all here, 513, 34, 144, 233. These are all Fibonacci sequence numbers. And directional bias is based only on the entry chart. Let me zoom in a little so you can see. And bullish, if the 144 is above, we're going long. If it's below, we're going short. Longs we're looking at, let's go into, let's actually find an example of a trade. And we can just use this even though we didn't trade it, but this is an example here. Yeah, that's fine. Then we can see both on the same screen. All right, so what you want to do is find where the 144 crosses. We're going to use this one, so we're doing a short. So below the 233, that happens right here. So we're going to draw a line in the sand. So we know that is where it's crossed over. Okay. So that's what we're going off of. Then we need to find the recent cross of the 513, which is right here inside of this. Let me just get this out of my way. It's right here, right? There's the cross on the 513. So we can draw a line in the sand there. Okay. So there it is. Then we need to, there. All right, then we need to wrap a zone around the most recent up wave at or near that area. Okay, so if this is the level, where's the price when this crosses over? The price is down here. So we can draw a horizontal line. So this is where we're at right now, as soon as that crosses. So we need to go up and to the left to find the most recent cross, which is right here. And then we need to wrap a zone around the lower low to higher high area inside of here, which is going to be really the only one is here and up. So we wrap a zone around that, trade the edge, stop goes above the high. Okay. So that is the setup. Let's go back and we'll see if we can find some more. Some other rules, though, you want to trade short at the edge, as we talked about, trade zones within a day. Cross should happen, the 513 should happen above price, right? So, price was down here, we need to go up. If the cross on the 513 is in the same area, then we need to go higher to find the next one. Okay, so that is the idea behind it. Let's go back some more. Someone had mentioned that there's a typo, and there is. I was thinking, I don't know if you're in here now, but I was thinking you were talking about this, which this is accurate. What is not is this on the chart itself. So obviously the 5 did not cross below the 13. It crossed above. And in this case, it crossed below. Okay. Don't worry about chewing. Yeah, don't worry about that. So anyway, so So that's what we're looking for. Okay, so if you see that, I'll change this, but I'll get it updated later in the week. Get this out of the way. Okay. Yeah. The second page. Yeah. Yeah. I thought you were talking about this. I didn't know it was on the chart. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Somebody else noticed it too. So we'll fix it. You know what we mean. Um, so here's another example. So the macros are crossing here. So we're gonna draw a line. The 513 crosses here. So we draw a line. Where is current price? It's up here. Okay, so we come into here and we're looking for down and to the left to find the most recent higher high to lower low move. Okay, there's your higher high, there's your lower low. So there's our zone. Let's see if we can find any others in here. Okay. And then that is kind of middle of the night. So let's go to another chart. Let's go to crude. Now, we went over 2 on crude today. I think, really personally, I'm probably not going to trade crude. I think, and I didn't really get great testing results on it, and so I just didn't even put it in the system. We took a couple trades today just to kind of, get used to it and so on. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to trade it. I just didn't see good numbers. You can try different range numbers on this and test it out and see what you think. Odds are reversals are going to be really good. Trends, I don't know because it's crude. But I think, maybe try 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. Try smaller ranges, see if that does the trick. But we'll plot it out. So the macros crossed here. The last time 513 crossed was right here. Okay. Where is price? Price is down here. So we're looking for at or around this is where we're looking to find. I'll draw another line there. Where is the most recent lower low to higher high? Well, there's one up here, clearly. So we can start here and draw that one. There's another one down here, right there. Which one is closer to this line, right? So this one's further removed. So this would be the one to use because it's closer. If they're about the same, use the most recent. Okay, that's kind of a good way to do it. So there's the block. So does price ever come back into it? Let's see. Pretty close. Never quite made it. Okay. And then we can see, does it ever come back around? No. So that would have been that one. Otherwise, I don't think there's any others on this chart. There was a cross up. So let's look down here. We'll go to the hard right edge. Okay. So here is the cross right there. Where did the 513 cross happen? It was right there. Where is current price at this time? Right about here. Let's go, sorry, this one. Right there. And then where was the cross taking place? It was right here. That's where the cross is. So if we come into here, we're looking for what was the last higher high to lower low. These are equal. And this one would be the one right here. Sorry, right there. Okay, this is the one we took on crude. We took the stop out. Didn't work. So there we go. Let's go to another market. I'll just move this out of the way for now. We'll go to NQ. Okay, so we actually have one right here. Here's the cross. Here's where the 513 crossed right here. Okay, so that's where the cross took place. The price was down here when it actually crossed. It's coming into this right now. It's after 2. I wouldn't really mess with it, but that is the trade. You can see how it responds. It's coming in right now. Markets are a little chaotic today, to be honest. A little chaotic. Yeah, let's hang on to the questions for now, guys. I don't want to I don't want to detour too far off of what we're looking at. So bear with me. We'll get to the questions, but let's just focus on what we're doing. All right, so cross right here. Where's the 513 cross? Right here. Where's price when these cross? It's right here. And then this cross took place down here. So where are the higher highs to lower lows? There's one down here. And then there's one right here. Now, this one, technically this one's closer to where it crossed. So you could use that one. And then this one, they're both pretty close. I would say this one could be good. The way that I tested these seem to work out pretty well. So, this one is going to be kind of really it's dealer's choice. What do you want to trade? What do you think has more merit to it? Yeah, so it's kind of up to you as far as that goes. But I would say if they're equal or close to equal, use the most recent is my take on it. But see what works for you, All right, let's go to 2K. So we've got this one right here. The EMA's crossed there, and then the 513 crossed here. Price was down there at the time, and then the EMA's crossed here. So where is the most recent lower low to higher high? It's right there. This one is obviously further away because this one's right on top of where it crossed. Cool. So that's where that one came from. And then this one here, let's go in and look at this one. Okay, price is up here when these cross. Last cross took place down here. There's the line of where it crossed. There's couple different zones in here. You've got this one, that one, and then this one. Okay, so these are all three zones. Yeah, so we've got sort of three of them here. But what's our rule? We need to be down and to the left. We can't be right on top of where price is. Price is actually up here, actually. So we can actually just, I can't select this because this thing's in the way. Anyway, price is up here. So we got to go down and to the left. What is more likely to give a reaction in this area? I think this one, obviously the line's down here. So this is the furthest away. So we can get rid of that one. This one is right on top of it. It is the more recent of the two. So remember, if they're kind of both make sense to use or they're equal in distance, use the more recent of the two, which would be this one. After they cross, there's the trade. Okay, so stop would go below the low, entry, target 1-to-1 right there. And then you can leave a trail runner, a runner on. If you like, you would have taken the trade out here, which would have net, where is it right here? Would have gave you 84, so almost 3-to-1 on that trade. You'll take more stop outs, in the grand scheme of things if you're not taking targets, but you could certainly just say, this is my entry point. I'm not getting out till these cross, and it crossed right there. And then you wait for the next one. Or you could say, I'm not going to get out until the 13 crosses the 34, which happens way over here. And then in that case, you get paid really well. That one would have net, the cross happens right here. That one would have net you 227 ticks, it looks like. Yeah, right around there. 225, let's call it. So almost 10-to-1. It was 8-to-1, something like that. So pretty good. So you can certainly do it that way. Whatever makes sense to you. If you want to trade a little bit of both, a hybrid of, I'm going to take targets at 1-to-1 and leave the rest to run. However you want to do that, it's up to you. I'm going to leave these orders on for the different markets, even though it's after 2, just so we can see them. I'm not going to track these because they're not trades I would take, but we'll leave them on just for the sake of seeing them execute. I did take a couple more trades. You didn't miss anything, by the way. So, but I did take a couple more after the room closed. Didn't really work out too well anyway. So, let's see. All right, so let's take a look a little further back. We'll look at some additional examples in here. Take a look at something. Yeah, there was a really nice trade on gold. Was right here. Sell there, take target there. That was a trend trade. Yeah, that was a good one. Tried to take another trend trade. That one didn't work. Got stopped out. I probably should have exited, but that's all right. Interesting. Okay, so let's stay on the reversals for now. I'm gonna try to get some more days loaded. Let's go to 2K. Well, actually, let's go to gold. Let's stick with gold. Gold seems to be the most active of the bunch. Let's load like 30 days on here. I hit a button. Oh boy, what did I do? All right, so let's go over to like market hours. What I look for on the market hours, by the way, if you want to jot these down, I'll kind of give you some hours that you could look to trade these. All right, so on crude, what on earth? Give me. Seriously. I am apparently losing my mind or cool. My draw tool's not working now. Bear with me here. Okay. You guys see this, right? Just making sure. Yeah. Okay. Ah, crazy. Okay. Yeah. Super. All right. Cool. So I'm drawing with the mouse. That is what it is. So gold, 8:30 to 2. They all end at 2. So gold 8:30, CL 9:05. Wait till after the open, 9:05, 9:10, hit open. Gold opens at 8:20, hence the 8:30. If there's news, wait till at least 8:45. If there's 8:30 news. Okay. Gold goes nuts off the news. Okay. Yeah, this is recorded. MNQ, M2K. Those are going to be 9:45 minimum. 10 o'clock is preferred. 10 to 2. Everything else, 8:45 to 2, 8:30 to 2, 9 to 2. Those are your market hours. That's the way I tested it. That's the way you're going to get the best results. Yeah, it's not a battery issue. It's something with, I have a drawing pad and it's only set up on one screen right now. I don't know why, but chaos, craziness, who knows? I don't know. All right, so we had this zone in here. Did this ever get triggered? Tell you what, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a switcheroo. because it's just going to be easier. Let's go into Ninja and whoops, let's do this. Hang on one second. That way I can see the zones get extended to the right. It'll be easier for me to draw on these. We don't have the drawing tools in here yet for tick plays, so we'll just go with this. Okay, let's add some days on here. All right, so where did they cross? Right here. Where did the 513 cross? Right here. It's 2 in the morning, so who cares? All right, let's keep going. Let's go to like regular market hours. There we go. Okay. So now that we're here, this was the last time it crossed, right? But this has already been triggered through, like market's already come through there. So this is old news, so we don't really care. So let's keep going. We're only looking for these crosses right now. So we'll go here. Okay. Price is right here. Oops. Right there. And the last time it crossed is kind of right at the same location. So remember, we talk about you can't be on the same location. It's just not what we're looking for. So go down into the left. Here's where it crossed right here. Market pricing crossed there. Higher high to lower low, barely, but technically. And then that's the trade right there. Now this is middle of the night, so obviously you're not trading it. But there's an example of what that looks like. Let's keep going. There's the next one. And really, this is crossing down, and by time it's already chopping through the other side in the middle of the night. So let's go to 8:30. So we got another cross here, back up. And so we're looking down into the left. Last time it crossed on the 513 is here. And so the price level is there and there. So we're looking at higher high to lower low. We've got one here. Oops. And then we've got another one right here. And then there's one more right here. So which one do you use? Well, this one's closer than this one. So that one's gone. This one's inside of this one. So which one should we use? It's a matter of preference, but I'm going to use the smaller of the two. That's my take on it. So that would be the zone. And let's see if we get any opportunities to trade it throughout the day. Nope. Let's see when it does come in. Okay, so there's where it came in. It wasn't until days later, so it doesn't matter. So we'll get rid of it. Okay, let's keep going. Took a while. Got a crossover here. Last time the 513 crossed, it barely came into it and then pushed down. So technically not a cross, but this would be, kind of right on top of each other. Yeah. So what are we talking about with higher highs and lower lows, right? So let's go through it. I'd love to be able to draw with my drawing tool, but this candle made a higher high, yeah? Then this candle. This candle made a higher high than this candle. This candle made a higher high, lower low than this candle, higher high, lower low, lower low, lower low. So that's what we're talking about. So this candle, lower low, 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 higher high, about the same, lower low, higher high, higher high, higher high. That makes sense? So if we're looking for a lower low to higher high, this one made a lower low. This one made a higher high, but so did this one, and so did this one. So the lower low to higher high is right here, like that. You're drawing a zone around it. And that's where you're trading. So let's go to the rules. Wrap a zone around the up wave near the 513 cross. What is an up wave? An up wave is lower low to higher high. Up wave is a lower low to a higher high. That's it. Here's another one. Lower low to higher high. 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 There it is again, and again, and again, again, and again. Take a screenshot. Let me know when you guys got your screenshots. Good to go. That makes sense. Has to be near the 513 cross. Exactly. Exactly. At or just, I would say, most of you'll see it as we go through it. Like you'll see us do a ton of these and it'll make sense. But near, it's either on the 513 cross or just past it. If you don't get either one of those, then you just go back to the most recent beyond that, which would be this right here. Yeah. So there you go. So this one, if we go in and look, I mean, these did cross. So technically, this would be the zone from this lower low to that higher high. That would be the zone. So we can go ahead and just get rid of that. Oops. And let's see, does it ever come back around? I'm sure it does at some point. There it is. So, it didn't come in until days later, obviously, so we're not going to trade that. So trade them within a day is the best thing. These are kind of like the whole idea behind these. These are small zones. These are not 4-hour levels here. These are like 1-minute levels. So trade them the same day or just skip them. If they're still there at the end of the day, I would delete them and come back the next day and look at plotting the overnight zones. So, so there was a question about the EMAs. We've got, let's look at them where they're all sequential. Okay, 5, 13, 34, 144, 233. You go, I can't remember that. That's why the cheat sheets are there. 5, 13, 34, 144, 233. There it is. Okay, so what about, let's go back. Sorry. And down, down, down. It crossed up. Not for very long, though. Didn't cross for very long. It's also middle of the night. Well, early morning, pre-market. But if you're wanting to trade those, you're really looking at, is there anything that says this market has changed direction to the upside? Is there anything in that market that tells you that it has changed to the upside? Not really. I mean, yeah, we broke above resistance somewhere around in here. We broke above this. You're thinking, okay, go long. Where? If anything, you're going long down here, but if they're sweeping one side like this, they're coming for the other usually. So just be careful trading in these sideways markets. It's not going to serve you well. You might get away with it sometimes, but at best, it's going to be a coin flip. So if you see this and it's like, well, let's plot it out, right? So here's the 513 cross. Okay. Price at this time is up here. The cross happens right here. Let's zoom in. Higher high, lower low, barely. This one definitely higher high to lower low. Neither one of them work. So yeah, doesn't really matter. But why wouldn't it work? Because what are we trading into? We're trading into a liquidity sweep right here. Slammed up. What's coming next? They're taking out your stops. I can almost promise, you know. So anyway, so that's just, trade selection type stuff. You know, point is you're looking to trade in trending markets. So when you see this 8:30, 8:30, 8:30, 8:30, obviously that's a news release. So stay away until at least 8:40. Okay. At any rate, you have a cross under, and then there's the cross on the 513. There is the zone, lower low, higher high. There's the trade. Enter at the edge of the zone, stop goes above the high. Okay, let's keep going. Next one right here. Okay, where's the 513 cross? Right here. Where does it take place? Right there. So we've got clear, higher high to lower low, very clear, easy to see. So this would be valid throughout one day of trading, and it didn't trigger. So what do? Delete it, get rid of it. Go to the next day, next day, next day, next day, right here. Go, where's price? This is important on this one. At the time that this is crossing under, price is kind of all over the map, but we really don't start to get any separation in the EMAs until about here. So I'd be looking like, I want to stay away from this. And I want to stay away from the noise. To me, this is all just noisy, choppy markets. And so there again, we talk about, trade selection, wait for the market to give you some direction. Okay. EMAs are very, very sideways, very sideways, very sideways. So what do we do in this case? Well, I'm looking for a break of the low. Like these are macro EMAs. Wait for a break of the low. You've got some separation starting in here, and you're starting to see a clear impulse wave. Game on. Okay. This is where we know, okay, I can participate in this. This is showing me that the market has some direction by breaking the lows. Okay. So we'll come back in here. And so the 513 is actually crossing at about the same time. And so what do we have here? Well, we know that if price is here, when these are crossing, we know we need to go up and to the left. So this cross on the 513 is not going to work. We got to go up to this one. And so that's what we're looking at. Okay, so if we go based off of that, where is the lower low to higher high? No, we're going to cover everything. We'll cover it all. So lower low to higher high. We've got one here. Got another one here, lower low to higher high. So which one makes more sense to use? Not this one, because you see how it came down and came right back up. So these haven't even gotten any separation yet, and that zone is already tested. So at this point, I'm going to say, don't mess with it. If it comes back and test it right away, just stay away from it. Wait for the next one. Okay, we got the squeeze. There's the move to the upside. 513 crosses here. That happens right there. Higher high to lower low. Okay. This is the more sensible. The other one is right here, but they're both right on top of the zone, the level rather. So go with the more recent. So there it is. This would be valid for that day of trading. Did it come in? And yeah, it did. So there's the trade. Cool. All right, moving on. Are you guys starting to see it? Starting to see it. Don't worry, we're recording. You'll get access to this forever and ever, and it'll be amazing, and you can watch it as many times as you need to. So here's where price is at the time. This is too close, so we got to go up into the left because this is same time, right? Same time. And then we would come over here There's another one right here. Obviously, we can see there's a lower low to higher high right there. This one would have been a stop out. That one didn't work. Okay. I don't really like anything on crude. Not with this system. Not with the 10 range anyway. I would need to test it more to see what works. Yeah. Yeah, only trade one test of the zones. Once it's traded once, don't try to trade it again. Let's going, 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 going. There we go. Starting to squeeze, and there's the cross. Okay, kind of middle of the night, but we can still plot it out because it's something that'd be valid for that day. Do we have an indicator that draws these? Nope. Mm-mm. There. Okay. Cross happens right there. So what do we got? We've got one here. Got another one here. There's another one inside of that. Okay. Let's get rid of the bigger one. Which one makes more sense? This one happened before the cross. Then it came in and chopped it up right away. This one makes more sense to me because it hasn't been traded back through right away, right? So like this was the original that we looked at. You see how it comes in and just blasts right through the thing. So this is not fresh. This is not something you want to trade. So the trade would actually be either here or here, and it's already been traded. So we're not going to mess with it. Okay. Very clear crossover. Little bit of a tag. It kind of tagged the 13. So we can look at a couple different things here. Same thing here. But if you went with this, you've got one here. And you've got one right there. You can see clearly there's probably some kind of news again. A lot of candles doing, giving us a lot of new candles at 8:30. Get rid of this so I can see. So in this case, what I would do, these are really close to being like right on top of each other. So just just combine them into one, right? Like just make that your zone and trade that. There's the trade. So that's how the reversal system works. I think we've covered a handful of them at least by now. We'll look for one more and then we'll be good. Yeah, nice clean trade. 1-to-1 is this other line here. Let me do this. Okay, let's keep going. There's the cross. Where's the last 513 cross? Right here. Where did that take place? Right there. Where's the zone? Lower low, higher high. There to there. Get rid of that. Okay. That one bottomed out, came right back in, tried to push, couldn't. What do we end up with? A liquidity sweep of this level. Yeah, it happens. I like to see a decent amount of follow through on these reversal trades too. The better ones are the ones that cross and then go, and they stay above like this, or they're kind of above for a while and then they come back. Those tend to be the best because there's just more momentum behind those. Okay. Yeah, watch the replay, Samira. Look at the cheat sheets. They're all in there. So if you have a 1-4-4 cross, that gives you a zone to trade short, but then crosses back the other way, that gives you a zone to trade long at the same time. Yes. Yeah, you can have multiple zones on the same chart at the same time, and they are all eligible to be traded, at least for one day. Trade them all. Yeah, they're valid until the end of the day, and then at that point I would reset. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, there is a very good reason for the one to be offset. The reason that the five is offset, sorry, one candle is so that this, let me zoom in here. What this is doing is that the price of this EMA is not on this bar, it's actually this one, but it's set to go forward by one. So why would we do that? Because we need to know when does price actually interact with the EMA, but we're not going to know what this EMA is until it closes. So we're going to use the previous bar's EMA. So that's why it's offset one, because this is the exact location where you would be trading. It makes it easier to see. Yeah. Very good question. So the cross can be very brief as long as it happens, doesn't matter. With the 144 and the 233, these macro levels, you want to see that they cross and stay up for a while. You don't want to see that it's crossing and then, I mean, if it's clean, you've got, let's take an example for this. Let's say we're right here and we got the cross here. Let's even go here, right? We've got the zone. We're going to put the zone right there. Let's assume this didn't tag the zone here. At what point do we want it to come back? I would say as long as you've got, when it leaves the zone, if it clears your target and then comes back, okay. If it does not clear the target and comes back, there's, and in this case, it had tagged before it crossed anyway. So make sure there's some room there to get yourself in. As for the other EMAs, yeah, they don't need to really necessarily cross. You can get if it's a trending market, like you'll see where it'll just tag it like this and then go. That's fine. I would still consider that. Like if this was, the area that we were looking at trading, um, would be right here. So yeah, good question. I'm not sure if you answer. How many times can we trade the five EMA touch in one leg? One time per trade. Yeah, one time per trade setup. So you could get a reversal, and then you could get a trend, and then you can get a micro, and then you can get another trend, and then another micro, all in the same direction. That's fine. Seems like the shallow crosses and the macros that test very quickly. Yeah, they do. Yeah, because those are, the markets where the 144, 233, when they're not getting separation, that means you have a tight market because the market's not going anywhere. So if you look at this environment, you see how the market stalls? What's happening with these EMAs? They're getting closer and closer and closer and closer, 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 closer. They're squeezing. And that tells you that the market has run out of momentum. So that's actually what momentum indicators are based off of. So anyway, cool. So I think we're good on reversal. Yeah. I think we can go ahead and move on to the next one. Let's do the trend trade next. Yeah, that is the essence of it. MACD. Yeah, exactly. Let's we just stay on gold. That's fine. Let me get rid of all the drawings. So let's review the rules. Let me find one. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. So right now, the red is the 144. The blue is the 233. When the red is above the blue, we're looking for longs, right? So let's pull over and let's find a trade. Yeah, right here. And let me do this. Give ourselves a little room. When it says create a new high, is that just higher high? No, just higher high. And so this is another good question on these trend trades and the micros. What we want to look for, let me come back to that. I'll come back to that. Bear with me. But we'll cover it. So what we're looking for in the trend trade, let me plot this out. Okay, so that's our trade. So let's go in and look at it. So this is a pullback for trending markets, custom Fibonacci-based exponential moving averages. We've got our same entry charts. Everything's the same. EMAs are the same. Directional bias, bullish, bearish, exactly the same. 144 above 233, trading long, or the opposite for bearish. Market creates a new high. We're going to come back to that. Pulls back to the 144 and the 233. What does that mean? That means I want to see it come back into this area. Somewhere in here. It needs to tag this and go. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. So it pulls back. We're going to look at the long. So it pulls back into the 144 and 233. Check. The 13 crosses above the 34 right there. So the 13 is the black. The 34 is the cyan. Okay, so you see the cross there. So we got that. So that's all our pre-trade stuff. At this point, we're trading long off of the 5 exponential average. And now, assuming this kept going, we're going to keep trailing off of the EMA until we get a tag. So let's say if we were here, that means that would be where we got the trade. Now, we're going to come back to that concept as we go forward. We'll definitely cover that, but so that's good. If the market overshoots the 233, skip the setup. That's too deep of a pullback. The market is trying to reverse direction. They don't work as well. So make sure it's coming in and clean. You see how these all overshot the 233. This one overshot 233. This one overshot it. So you want to see that it's coming in as a pullback, not sweeping out levels. So that's kind of what we're looking for there. Here we go. Entry says signal candle close. I'm going to have to fix that. Let me make some notes. Entry is at the 5 EMA. On trend. Fix images on reversal. Okay. 1-to-1 risk reward. Place the stop at the closer of the 233 or the swing low at this time. Okay, so this is where we are entering. Our 233 is here. Our swing low is there. It's kind of somewhere in the middle, right? You want to sweep it below the lows, but whichever's closer. So obviously this one's closer, so that's what we're going to base our stop on. It needs to go below that. A good rule of thumb, if our measurement is 34 ticks, add 10%, add 3 ticks, 37, 38, somewhere in there. That's a good rule of thumb, add 10%. Okay. And then stop minimum is 1.5 bar times. So on a 10 range, minimum bar size or minimum trade size is 15 ticks on every trade. Okay. Cool. So as soon as these cross, then we're looking for pullback to, retest of the 5 right there. Stop goes below the low, off it goes. Cool. So that is the trade. So the fact that I swept through many times. No, because it made a new high and it's pulling back into here. If it's sweeping below this level, then no, I don't want it. Because it's not a trend trade anymore, right? Trend trades should go up, come back, and go. Yeah. So let's talk about how to determine whether this market has made a new higher high. Here's the best way to do it, I think. Again, rules-based, very, very important. We want to eliminate as much subjectivity as we can, because otherwise you're going to trade it and go, I don't know what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm just highlighting where all the 513 crosses are. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the low before it crossed to the high before it crossed back down. And I'm just going to draw some zigzags based on that. Cross down, cross back up. Didn't really cross back down, so we'll move it up to here. Cross back down, back up, back down, and then there. Okay. So where are we actually looking for it to create a higher high? Not here, because we're looking to get in on the move back up. We need to know that this level was higher than the last time it crossed down and then back up. Okay, so bear with me here. So if this is our high, is this higher than the last time the 5 was above the 13 before it crossed back up? So this is what we're looking at. And in this case, it made a higher high. So if you want to make it rules-based, that's the way to do it. Let me get rid of these. Does that make sense? So if we were to, you guys are killing me. All right, so let's go back here. So this is where we're at right now, yeah? Let's go back to where it crossed, right here. Where was the last time it crossed under? Right here. Last time it crossed up, right there. Where's the high? Right here. So if it was up, down, up, did it break this high? Yeah, I'm just trying to give you guys some rules. You can look at this chart and go, did it make a higher high? Uh-huh. Cool. Or you can look at it and go, I want rules that tell me exactly when it makes a higher high. Okay. Or you can just make it simple. We already know how to do lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high. Okay. So did it break this high? Yeah. Imagine if you learned our complicated ones. No, it is. It just, there's certain things that you have to put into rules. Once you get it, though, it's easy. It's super easy. Don't sweat it. You'll get it. All right, let's keep going. So here, that was the trade. Okay, so let's look at this. Did this make a higher high? Yes or no? There you go. Easy. It doesn't have to be complicated, you know? So our 5 is now below the our 13 is below the 34. We need the 13 to cross back above. That happens right here, yeah? So this is where our pre-market conditions, our pre-trade conditions have been met. We made a higher high, check. The market pulled back into the 144.233 and the 13 crossed above the 34. So we're good, right? But what about if the market overshoots the 233 on the pullback? Skip the setup. Yeah, exactly. All right, Calvin. Exactly right. So this one, it's one candle below. Do you want to trade it? I don't know. That's up to you. Personally, I skip them. If it overshoots, if it's like a tick or two, no big deal. But if it's overshooting by a candle or two, not really interested anymore. Because your trade is right here and your stop is right here. Did you hit target? No. Because your stop would go at the 233, which is right here. So you never made it to target. It's too far extended, right? The market barely got above the highs and then swept the lows. So what is this market doing? That. Now, I just, clean trades, please. All right. So now we came back in. Let's go over here. We came back in, clear retest of the 144, 233. Okay. Did we make a new high? Yes or no? Yep, sure did. Okay. 513 cross right there. That's where it crossed. There's the trade right there. Stop goes below the low or the 233. In this case, they're about the same. Bam, stopped out. It happens. Was there anything wrong with that trade? Nope. It's a good, clean trade. Not everything works. Market changes direction. Now we are looking for shorts. We need the 13 to cross above the 34 and then back below. So it is now above. It's middle of the night. We're not trading. Let's keep going, keep going. Let's go to the next day. Okay. Went up momentarily, back down. There's the 13 crossing, and now we're like way above the 233. So no trade. So we keep going, chop, 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 chop. Break above, break back down, still getting the news, still cruising. EMAs are slow, nothing's happening. And then we finally start to get some separation in here. Okay. Did we overshoot the 233? Yes or no? When price comes back to the 5 to test. Yeah. Yeah, we'll look at it. Did the market overshoot the 233? Yeah. Yeah, we don't trade it. Skip it. Would it have worked? Yeah, it would have worked. But where's your trade? Way down here. Where's your target? Way down here. Did it ever make it? No. That's a break-even trade. What's the point? Save yourself the turmoil. All right, let's keep going. Here we go. So this one, the 13 crossed above and back down. Can we trade this? Yes or no? Is that one valid or not? No, why not? Bingo, didn't retest the 144. So the rules say pulls back into 144 or 233. No, it did not. So keep going. There it is. Okay. Tagged, broke momentarily, and down. So we tagged the 233. We didn't really get too far above it. Couple ticks, they're touching, but they're not like completely above. This one is kind of dealer's choice. It's up to you how strict you want to get on the rules, but the trade is right here. Stop is going to go at the lesser of the swing high or the 233 right there. Stop out. So when you're looking for the momentum of the market, what really happened here? Well, we broke the low, but then we broke the high above the 233. Is that a trend trade or is that more like a reversal? Shot above the 233. So if you're being a little more lenient with those rules, you're going to get stopped out more, but you'll get more trades. So it's just a matter of, in the long run, does it pay you more or not? I don't know. Okay. So now we're back down. We broke the low. We came in and tagged the EMAs, the macros. And let's see what happens. Do we get across? Nope. Swept above. No trade. But it worked. Just trust me. Just follow the rules. You'll make your life so much easier. Okay, EMAs are now up on the next day. And let's get to, after 8:30, right? So the markets are really sideways. EMAs are squeezing together. It's not really making new highs. It's just kind of bouncing around. Let's wait until we get a really new high. Okay, there. Okay, right here. So did the market make a new high? Yes or no? Yeah, obviously. Did the market pull into the 130, 144, 233? I think so. A couple ticks away. Close enough. Very close. 13 is crossing back above 34. Now, think of it this way. This is your live wire. That wire is live and you are looking to trade it. So as soon as it comes back in, still no trade. Still no trade. Keep moving it up till you get the entry. Still no trade. Do you see how this moving average is one candle in front? Okay. Still in touch right there. So there's the touch. Stop would go down here. Okay. So cheat sheet words, pull back into means inside the zone between, not well beyond. Yeah, you want it to be, think of it like these are not necessarily going to be like finite. Would this be considered a test of the 144? I think so. But at the same token, think of it like if you're looking at like, do you want it to be lenient or not? Like this is the area technically. Okay, so if that's our box, did it come into this box? No. But is it pretty close? Yeah. Did it overshoot that? And is it close? That's where you have to decide if you're going to be 100%. It has to touch the 144. It has to touch and not go beyond it. That is up to you. Personally, I'm going to give it a little bit of breathing room because the markets are not, they're not that definitive. And you're going to be maybe a little too rules based, right? So very, very close. This is one tick away, 2 ticks. But it's up to you. What about the location of this trade, right? What about the location of this trade? If we go back over here, is this a good location to trade a trend? No, it's a terrible location. We've got no room to hit targets in here. So here's a rule that you can put around that. The stop, it doesn't really matter the stop size so much. What matters is, was the swing high less than 0.5? We may need to do another class or two on this stuff. I'm just saying. Because there's a lot to cover, I guess. So look at this high, right? So this is the high that this is what we're trading into. Okay, if we're right here, okay, there's our trade. We're trading back into this. Do we have room to trade that? No, this isn't even 0.5 to our target. So look at what happens. They sweep the high, sweep it again. Then they finally go, but they never make it up to the target. It's close, but that ain't getting us paid. And why would we want to put the risk on unless we have a good chance of hitting our target? It's a probability factor. So here's my rule for that. If this high previously was here or above, I'm in the trade. If it's below this 0.5 level, I'm not in the trade. I don't want it. This is way too close to the highs. Does that make sense? Way too close to the highs. We'll point this stuff out later in the week too as we trade it. Yeah, put it on your cheat sheets, add it as a rule if you like. We can't quantify everything in 10 o'clock news. Some of this stuff you have to kind of decide if that's something you want to do. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So now we came back into the EMAs. 13 is below 34. So we're waiting for the cross. Wait for the cross. There it is. Okay. There it is. So yeah, Steve, I'll show it on this trade for you. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so now this is our live entry level. Okay. Right there. There's our trade. Okay. So let's plot it out. There's our entry. Stop goes below the low or the 233, whichever's closer. So it's going to be 47 ticks right there. So if we look at this, where's, 0.5 is going to be right here. So if this high, way over here, if this high is, let's say our trade was like this, and the 0.5 is like beyond that high. Let's say that's our trade. That's not a good trade anymore because we're not even at 0.5 to get back to this high. So that wouldn't work. But in this case, we've got plenty of room to trade this. So this is clean. So you can put it below this swing high or swing low rather, or you can put it here. 0.5, 0.5 R multiples. Sorry. 0.5 R multiple. There's a target. You see how much cleaner that trade is when you've got room to trade? Your target is below the swing high. Yeah, always go off the high up here. Bearing in mind, this is a range chart. It's not a minute chart, so you get a little bit more leeway on that kind of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so this is our swing high. If your target's below the swing high, golden. If your target's above the swing high, then how far above? If it's like way up here, then your swing high point was there. This is less than 0.5 to your target. That makes sense? In other words, don't trade at the highs. It did here. It did here. Yeah. Tried to cross momentarily. Actually, technically, it crossed here. And if you traded that one, that would have been a stop out. Would have been like that. So maybe technically that was a stop out. Let's go look at some more. Let's keep going. Okay. 13 cross below the 34. What do you guys think about this one? You can use minis, full size, micros, doesn't matter. What about this trade? Good, no, didn't come back enough. Yeah, it's up to you on this. Here's what I'd look at more than anything, and this is kind of more bigger picture stuff. With every trade strategy, right time, right place, right direction. We know our direction. That one's easy because we're using these EMAs. What about timing? We know that these EMAs are crossing over, so we're good there. So it all just comes down to the right place. Location, 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 right? So here's my thinking. This caused the market to move lower, therefore likely to cause resistance. So the market bounced off of that. Do we have room? So always ask yourself, what are you trading out of? This is bonus material, okay? What are you trading out of? What are you trading into? If you can't answer that question on every single trade you take, you will not make money consistently. If there's any promise I can make to you, it is that. Always know, what are you trading into? What are you trading out of? Because who are you trading against? Big freaking money. They got a lot more money than you do. And if you think for a second that they're not paying attention to that, you are sorely mistaken. So if that's who you're trading up against, you better know where you're at. That's why these rules are here. So don't take them for granted. They're very, very important. Now, something like this, where it's like, okay, if this is the exact level, right? Is that close enough for you? You can make it 100% rules based and say, no, I'm not going to trade it because it didn't tag one of these. Therefore, it's not a trade. Cool. I'm actually great with that. I think that's a fantastic idea because then it takes all the guesswork out. Okay, so not a trade. Didn't work anyway. Cool. You saved yourself out on a bad trade. What about this one? No, because it overshot. Let's keep going. Now we're up. Okay, we're coming back in. Overshot, no trade. Keep going. Coming back in. Overshot, no trade. Overshot. Never tagged it here. Now we're down. Now we're back up. The 34 never, or the 13 never crossed back under here. And this would not have been a trend trade because it didn't come into the EMAs. Yeah, well, that's it too, Steve. Yeah, you nailed it on the head there. Discipline versus intuition. Discipline is going to be, I only follow the rules. Good things happen when you only follow the rules. Trust me. And forgive me for giving any leeway on that because, frankly, maybe I shouldn't have. So here's where the cross takes place. Is this valid? No, because it didn't touch the EMAs. Keep going. Tagged right there. Middle of the night. We're not trading it. Keep going. Tagged it. Ooh, close. Almost overshot, but didn't. There's the cross. There's the retest. What's our location? Do we have room to trade it? The 233 at that moment is right here. Where's our target? What are we trading into? Do we have room to get back up to the highs? Yes, we do. This one went sideways for a while going into the pit open, and then it finally bounced. So if you're trading pre-market, just know what time the pit's open. Crude oil, 9 o'clock. Gold is 8:20. So make sure you know these things so you don't get caught with your pants down. All right, so here we go, here we go, here we go. There. Did it overshoot? Yeah, no trade. Okay, keep going, keep going. Did it overshoot? Yeah, no trade. Let's go and keep going, keep going. Tag. Middle of the night, not trading it. It worked, but we're not trading it. Here we go. Market hours overshot, kept going. Tag, tag, break. There it is. Okay, so did it tag the 244, 144, 233? Yes. This would not be an overshoot because this EMA moved up as a result of these bars. So at the time, it would not have been an overshoot, just so you know. So that one's okay. It's like right on top of it. So this one crossed right here. So we're trading it right off the 5. Stop is going to go right at the 233 at that time. There's the trade. Nailed it. Yeah. Is there enough room? Yeah, because right here. On the trend trades, don't worry about if these are crossing up and then back down. you're less concerned about these. Think of it this way. Which EMAs are you trading? This one and this one. The last time these were touching is right here. That high is here. Did it make a higher high? Yeah. So think of it from a binoculars. You're zooming in. You're zooming in a little bit, right? So don't let that deter you if you see it kind of, well, it crossed under and then, it crossed back up for a split second right here. And then, no, this is clean. Like they're going to touch sometimes. Market's got to get some room to move. So that's fine. The bottom line is it making higher highs? Yes. Did it come into the EMAs? Yes. Can you provide a little detail on the trigger candle when 5 gets crossed? You mean the 13? So, because the 13 crossed here, and so you'd be looking to trade right at the EMA. Technically, you wouldn't have gotten the trade until right about here. But otherwise, yeah, you're trading it. It's live as soon as the 13 crosses. So let's keep going. Let's see if we find any others. Let's keep going, keep going. Here. Tagged, overshot, says trade long at the 5. Yeah, so that's what it means. So just trade long off the 5. Because the 5 is a moving target, right? Like let's say you didn't get it till here, you wouldn't take that trade because you're at the highs and your stop's way down here. So yeah. Okay, now we're bearish. EMAs are flat. Now we're back up. Now we're down. Now we're back up. Now we're down. This one, 13 never crossed above. So we're still waiting on that. There it is. Overshot. Let's go here. Never crossed. Almost. Never. Sideways. Just has to touch the bar. So put it in as a limit order, not at a bar close order. So you don't want to wait for the bar to close. Just trail your entry as a limit order. Yeah. No touch, touch. 13 is above. Overshot. Nope. News. Wait for the news. News gets chaotic. A lot of candles off the news. Okay, back in play. Never crossed under. There we go. Okay. Let's look at this one. Last time 13 was above was right here. The previous low was right here. Did we make a lower low? Yes. We also technically swept the highs. What's our location? Let's see. Where do we actually get the trade? Right here. So this is where we get the trade. Remember, lesser of 233 or the swing high, which is this. And what is the swing high? It's where it interacted between the 144 and 233. So what's the measurement? It's about 43, so add 4 or 5 ticks. Right there, 48. Now, what about our target? Target's down here. The ultimate swing low is there before it pulled into the EMAs. So, do we have room to trade this? I think so. This is not, it's not like less than halfway to target, so it's fine. There it is. Now, if you're trading a 1334 cross as a rule to get out, this would have came all the way down to here. So 48 ticks of risk, and it's about 3 to 1. About 3 to 1 on that one. You can use a 513 cross as an EMA a way to get out of the trade. You can use just when market touches the 13, you can use when the market touches the 34. Any of these are valid. Just decide on, how tight do you want to get with your trail stop? Do you want to give it room to run or not? That's up to you. Whatever works for you. So this one would have been valid, except it's 6 o'clock at night, so we wouldn't trade it, but that was a clean outlook. Let's see if we can find one more trend, and then we'll move on to the scalps. Okay, so where's the cross? Right there. So the trade would be right here. Now, first off, there's a number of problems with this. First off, we don't have room to trade it because our target's like way down there. Second of all, it's not past 8:30, so yeah. Target below the low is okay. You just don't want it to be, based on kind of where you're at and things. If this is our stop right here, let's say 70 ticks, right? So if we're at 70 ticks, is our low less than halfway to our target? If so, don't trade it because you ain't got any room to trade it. Because you're expecting to get some support off the lows here. And if you're getting support there, then you don't have any room to maneuver the trade. So this would be a no trade. Let's keep going. So let's take a look at this. So market came into the EMAs clean, clearly made a new high, broke the previous high way over here, made a new high. Where's the cross? Right there. So now we're waiting for a pullback to the 5. Stop's going to go here. Do we have room to trade it? Yeah, I think so. Swing high is more than halfway to the target. And there it is. But you see how when it gets to the high, it dips back down a little bit. What this does is when you've got room to maneuver like that, you can move your stop in the trade. So let's say, we get here and we're like, okay, we just ran into the highs. Cool. Stop moves to break even. Now I've got room for the market to breathe to be able to get back to my entry and not get stopped out. If my entry is way up here, there's a good chance I'm getting stopped out at break even. So what's the point? You got to give yourself room to trade. So that would have been just barely a winner. If you see this and you're like, man, I missed it by a tick, let's say, look at, either it's tagging the 34 or it's crossing or something. Just get out of the trade. Take some money off the table. Otherwise, you're taking a break even on that. So good. Yeah, we'll look and see if there's any others. Yeah, that would have been another one. That was a stop out. Would have been right here. Had room to trade it. Definitely enough room, just didn't work. All right, cool. So I think we're good on the trends. Let's go to the scalp. I told you today was going to be at least 90 minutes. Usually we can get through about 2 of these type of strategies in one session, unless it's a really big one. Lance, do you want me to cover the dueling VWAPs again for you? I can do that. All right, let's go to the scalp trade. All right, so the scalp trade pullback play. Robert. The pullback play for markets using custom Fibonacci. Sound familiar? All right, so this is idea trading with momentum and volatility in the market. This one's a little different. So 144 above 233, but also 34 above the 144. Yeah, exactly right. We didn't look at slopes. No, we didn't look at that as a criteria. But I think having the 5 different EMAs kind of helps assist with that, and also the location. It's really hard to quantify what the slope of the EMA is because of this. Look at what the slope is. Now look at what they are. So that's a tough one. Look at what the slope is. Look at it now. Right. So it's really tough. It's a very subjective type of thing. I don't know that there's any way to measure that. So pretty tough. All right. So let's find a micro trade and we'll go through it. So I'm going to find a clean one that we can go through and then we'll look at a bunch of them. You will not get tons of micro trades. You would think the other opposite, but you won't get tons of micro trades because there are a lot of rules. If you ask me what's going to be the easiest one to trade, it's the trend trade. Trend trade is going to be the easiest. This one would have been one, but no. Here's the thing. Do you have to trade all 3? No. Trade 1, trade 2. You don't have to trade 3 of them. If it's start with 1, get good at 1, and then add more. Okay, right here. All right, let's pull up our rules. Typo on this page, bearish trade, 5 cross back below. On the scalp one, is that the one you're talking about? This one? Typo, 5 cross back below. No, that's actually right. Let's go through it and make sure, but I think that's actually right. So here's where we're at right here. Let me grab a draw tool. Oh yeah, this needs to change. Thank you. Scalp. Short. Free trade. I put all of these together on the same day is the problem. And yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely can miss things. So thanks for chiming in. Okay, so let's go through this. So bullish is what we're looking at here. The 34 above 144. Check. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Control V. It is sometimes. Usually it works out pretty well, but I got a lot going on. I won't get into the details, but there's a lot of personal stuff. I'm actually going to be traveling starting tomorrow, so I'll actually be on the road running these sessions on Thursday and Friday. I didn't want to have to reschedule for you guys. It is what it is, we'll figure it out. So just bear with me if you don't mind. All right. So anyway, let's see. So 34, 144, 144 is above the 233, clearly, because you can't even see it. 144, right? Oh, thanks, Daniel. Pre-trade long, market creates new highs. Sound familiar? Market pulls back to where? You'll see it doesn't really necessarily mean you need anything definitive there because the EMAs are going to tell us what we need as far as the location. Okay. So 5 EMA crosses below the 34, right there. 5 EMA crosses back above 34, right there. 5 EMA crosses back above the 13, right there. Here's the easy way to look at this. This is the way that I look at it. Because this is like when you read it off a page, you're like, God help us, right? So here's what I'm looking for. I want to see the 5 cross under the 34 back above, and then cross above the 13. So it's kind of like a smiley face. I want the 5 to cross under, but I don't want the 13 to cross under. So I say you're not going to get a lot of these. There's a little bit more going on, but they test very well. The 513 needs to cross above the 34, which it does. If the 13 also crosses below the 34, don't take the trade. You guys are like, I thought it was just going to be a 1-2 cross and we get in. Now, this is going to give you the edge that you need. So it's worth learning. So basically what we're looking at, 5 crossing under, but the 13 not. And then the 5 crossing at or above the 34. Okay, that's what we're looking for. If the market tags the 144, don't trade it. Why not? Because we have a trend trade for that. If the market's tagging the 144, we're not looking for this trade. We're looking for the trend trade. This is a different trade. But trust me, they do hit. And when they hit, they can give you a lot of follow through. Because the whole purpose behind this trade, the reason why it's set up the way that it is it's for very, very, very trending markets. How many of you have ever sat there in a very trending market going, boy, I wish I had something to do today? Because you're waiting for the market to give you a little breathing room to get in. This is going to be the trade for those situations. So that's why we did this one. All right, so those are the rules. There's the trade. Get in on the 5. Sound familiar? Yes. Okay, stop placement's a little different on this one. Stop is going to go at the 34, which is right here, or a minimum of 1.5 bar size. Most of these are going to be the minimum bar size. It's mostly going to be the 15 ticks on this one. So there's our trade. Do we have room to trade to the highs? Yes, we do. Scalp, it's 15 trades is pretty quick. It's a very quick trade. It's about less than a minute. I think anything less than a minute is probably going to be a scalp. But everybody's got a different term on that. Some people say, well, if it's like 3 ticks, it's a scalp. Well, I think if you're trading 10 to 15 ticks, you're scalping. But anything less than a minute, that's a scalp to me. But again, everybody has their own definitions. So there's the trade. There's the win. Can you trail it? Sure can. On this one, you might want to do a 513 cross. Didn't cross, almost. Kept going. Right there. Okay, so let's break this down for a second. That's your trade. So you risk 15 ticks, and you made 102. These rules are there to benefit you. 513 cross or a tag of the 34. That's kind of the best way. If you ask me, that's what I would do. I'm not saying that you couldn't do something else or that something else wouldn't work, but that's what I would probably do. One or the other. Tag the 34 with a 513 cross. Here's what I notice is that usually they happen around the same time anyway. So just trail your stop on the 34. That's a killer trade. Let's keep going. See if I can find you another one. Let's look at this one. 513 is what we're looking at. Okay, that's our signal. But we need the 5 to cross under the 34 and the 13 to not. Okay, so let's keep going. 513 cross, did not cross under the 34. There it did. If this market goes right back up, we're valid because the 13 has not crossed under, but the 5 has. And there's the cross. Now, why would we not trade the micro? Well, because we have a trend trade for this. This one is not a micro nor a trend because it didn't come into the 144. And the 13 crossed under the 34. Let's keep going. This one is not a trade either because the 5 did not cross under. Right here. This is what we're looking for. The 5 crossed under, the 13 didn't. There's the cross. We're pulling back in. There's the tag of the 5. Trade's going to go minimum 15. There it is. Picky, I know. It is. When I tell you I spent literally two Saturdays, full days, 8-hour days, 9-hour days, just testing these systems. Just on these systems alone. A lot of testing. So the rules are good. Because I wasn't going to just bring you, I wasn't going to bring you like foil wrapped dog crap, like here's something I got you. Wow, look at this gold foil on the outside. Hey, this kind of smells like dog crap. Yeah, it's because it is. No, we don't do that here. So if I'm going to give you something, it's going to be good, especially if you're paying for it. You will get your money's worth. That is always my commitment to you. So what did you get on this one? Yeah, exactly. So this one is 70 ticks versus 15 risk. So good trade. What about this one? This one doesn't count. Why? Because the 5 didn't cross the 34. This one, this would be a trend trade or close to it. Now we'll move on to the next day. Let's keep going. So far, nope. Close. Very, very close. Do you trade this one? There again, rules are rules. Stick to the rules. Here's what I would say. Better to have less trades initially and follow the rules to a T and learn what you can get away with. That's kind of a better way to put it. Start very, very rigid in your rules. And if you feel like you can stretch the rules a little bit, then put that into your own rules. Okay, flat, flat, flat. No direction. These trades are for very directional markets. There we go. Now we got some movement. I've got news. Okay. There we go. Right here. Five crossed the 34. 13 did not. Kind of looks like a little bit like a slug. There's the eyes, nose, anyway. 513 cross right here. Kind of on that bar. I don't know that you would really want to trade it right there. Might miss it. So that would be the trade actually right here. And then, 15 ticks is the minimum. Actually, it never tagged. Still hasn't tagged. There it is. Right there. Now, obviously, if you're in the trade, don't exit at 34, unless you want to. If you find that to be an edge, then great. But this one would have gave you 1-to-1 break even on the rest because it didn't trail. There was no real, you would have got a couple ticks out of this right here. That would have been the exit on the trail stop. So not bad. Still okay. Let's see if we got any others. Right there. There's the cross. So the 5 is a live wire. We don't get it till here. So let's take a look. This is one where we can actually put it on the 34. That's your first sign that might be kind of moved pretty far down to the low before coming back in. It's already tagged the low. So this one's a little more risky, and that one gets stopped out. So if it's already tagged the low in here, what do we mean by tagging the low? The candle that made the low is right there. See how it tagged and then went? If it tags that candle at the low, you probably want to stay away from it. So add that to your rules if you want. What are you trading into? What are you trading out of? Okay, we got another one right here. Did we tag the low? Yeah. This one worked though. So That's up to you on what you want to do there. Um, More aggressive, trade it anyway. Less aggressive, you're going to miss trades, but you'll miss out on some stops. So whatever works for you. Let's keep going. News. Yeah, that's a good way to put it too. Yeah. Okay. EMAs are down. Everything's down. 5 crosses 34, 13 does not. There's our cross. We're kind of inching down to the lows. Tag the lows. Trade's over. Missed it. Never came back for us. It's okay. That's why we have other trades. This one, the 5 almost crossed above and then didn't. $13 cross, tag the EMAs. Let's keep going. This was almost a trend trade and not quite a micro trade, so no trade. This one, this is a good one for us to review. Is this a tradable trade on the micro? Yes or no? What do you guys think? Valid or not valid? Tom says no. What do you guys think? We got one yes, some no's, no room. Off the 5. Yeah, not much room. More importantly, does it meet the rules? Exactly, Calvin. Triple top. The last, when this 5, when the 13 crossed the 34, if we're using that as our determination of whether it made a new high, cross back up, there's our high. The 13 did not get below the 34 on this setup right here. It did there, which is why we wouldn't trade it. But notice how this did not create a new high. So therefore, not going to work. See how far it goes sideways before it finally kicks above. So didn't make a new high, so no trade. Now you can define, you can define how you want to determine if it makes a higher high. There's a few different ways that we can do that. We already looked at the 513 crosses, which would be, zigging and zagging here to here, down, and then up and then down, right? So if we use the 513, it didn't make a higher high. If we use the 1334, then really these are actually the same and it didn't make a higher high. Or you can add a swing structure tool to your chart. If you have it, add it in there. So let's get rid of these. It's fine. Yeah, so no trade there. So let's keep going. Market's pretty sideways. No trade. Why not? Because the 13 crossed the 34. What about this one? Valid or not? To trade or not to trade? Michael's in the trade. Anybody else in the trade? You got a couple of you in the trade. You got 3 of you in the trade. Got a lot of you in the trade. That's interesting to me. It's a stop out. Yeah, good call, TJ. No new high. Dang it, they got me again. Welcome to real life trading. Didn't make a higher high. Okay, because here's where the high was, came down. Well, nope. And these are the ones that'll drive you nuts too, because what they'll do is they'll They'll come inside, inside, inside. It'll look like they're going to break. They'll sweep the highs and then they'll slam it down and they'll take out your stop. They'll get you almost every time on that. Let's get rid of those. All right, let's see. We keep going, keep going. Okay, what about this one? Valid or not valid? Beautiful. Not valid. 13 crossed under, and there's no trend trade because it didn't come into the 144 here. So no trade. What happens? Chop, 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 slam. Oops. Valid or not valid? Wouldn't trade this because we're already past the highs. So we'd skip that one. Valid or not valid? Market structure is everything. There's a reason I'm so adamant about that price action and liquidity course because it will keep you on the right side of the market every day of every week. That one's not valid because the 5 didn't cross under. Let's keep going. Middle of the night. Chop, chop. How about this? Valid or not valid? Simon didn't say. I'm just kidding. This is a valid trend trade. Valid trend trade right here. Valid trend. It'll be right about there. Almost made it, but didn't. If you see it coming into the lows like this, we clearly had some support there, higher high, lower low, right? So it clearly bounced off of that. I'm out right here. Big picture. What are you trading into? What are you trading out of? This is a break even for me. Let's keep going. This was a trend trade, but obviously way too high up there. So no trade on that one. Barely made a higher high here. So technically, this would have been a valid trend trade here. Not the prettiest thing I ever did saw, but it worked. Okay, 5 crossed above. And then where's our 513 cross? Right there. Get to 80% of the target. Yeah, you could do 80% is a good one, 90% definitely. What I like to look at is if I've got enough room to where if it trades into the low and it doesn't keep going, I'll just go to break even on those because there's always another trade. There's tons of trades on this system. So don't ever feel like you have to force it. There's plenty to work with. So this one is valid. You're getting the cross right there. Really, it's just a matter of do you want to wait for the next pullback into it, or do you want to trade it as it's crossing? It's really kind of up to you as far as, whatever you decide to do there, put it into the rules and stick with it. But if you trade it there, that's the trade. Otherwise, if you trade it here, that's the trade. Both of them work. So I don't think there's any harm in the more conservative approach is I'm going to wait for the close and the cross and then wait for it to tag the 5. That's how I do it because I can quantify rules around that and I know what the rules are. So Let's see. This one would have gave you 1-to-1 and then a little bit extra on the runner, maybe a 0.5, 0.8, somewhere in there. Look at the trend trade coming up at 1048. On this one in here, oh, 1148. Yeah, let's take a look at this. So here's where the trade is. Let's see right there. I think you can just sweep above the high would be 55. So do we have room to trade it? Yes. Did we make a lower low? We did here. All right. Crossed above. Yeah, that's clean trade. Yep, clean trend trade. Good to go. There's actually another one right here. So do we trade this one? Yeah, it's valid. Stop goes above the high. Definitely got room. Stopped out. Yeah, I took both of these actually. I took this one, very happy. Took this one, not as happy. But yeah, these are all today. Okay, we've covered a lot. We've covered a lot. Are we done yet? Let's do this. Let's put it all together. Putting it all together. Start at ground zero. Let's go. Let's just go like 2 weeks. 10 days. I know that's fine. Let's go 14. Okay, so this is M2K, so we're looking for like 945. So let's get there. So this is where we're starting off for the day. So whoops, what do we do to start the day? I'm going to zoom out. Last cross, start with this. Where's your support? Where's your resistance? I'm going to draw a line here so it's easy for us to find it. So we're going to come over. Can't go any further. Let me zoom in. So let's go here. So this is where we started getting separation on the EMAs. And where is the price? Is right here. Last cross took place right there. Where's the lower low to higher high? It's right there. So this is already tagged. So there's nothing there. So delete it. I don't even care to know about it. I don't need to know about it. It's a one and done type of thing. So let's go back to 945. And really that's it as far as the reversal zones. So now at this point, we're just going to look at trading the system. So if we're here, let's go line by line and see if we get any trades. So we're looking for shorts, 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 long. Okay, we just got the flip here. So now we're going to go down and look for where's price down and to the left to find the recent cross right there. 513 cross on the reversal. We're going to do higher high to lower low right there. Delete that. That's our zone. We're also now looking for trend trade and micro trade among these, right? So let's keep going, keep going. Really, we need the 5 to cross under at a minimum. In this case, 13 crossed, but didn't tag the EMAs, so there's no trade. So we keep going. Now they're both down, tagging the EMAs, almost. Didn't get there. Almost, but didn't. No trade. Keep going. Shot through. We didn't really get a micro trade in here because this was crossing and then right back down. There would have been no trade in here. In live markets, you'll see it. It'll make more sense. Okay, now we're crossing, but right back up. So we're back to the longs. So do we plot a reversal off of this? Not really, because it never really went down. It just kind of squeezed and then went back up. So there's no reversal zone to plot. This is an interesting one. This is actually a trade. Because all we see at the time is this and then cross. Now it's at that point though, we're already down. So I would be looking for the move up and then trading it back down, either here or off of the next one even. And see now, if I'm here and I've got my little micro trade on right here, I don't got room to work with this trade and it's awfully choppy. So do I really want to mess with 15 ticks on this? No, there's just no room. There's no breathing room. It's not clean. This is meant to be for the micro trades, meant to be very, very trending. And it's just not. So there's the almost tag of the 144. And then there's the trend. But by this point, we're already way up to the highs anyway. So no trade. And now it's 3 o'clock. So no trades. Let's go to the next day. So here's where we are for the day. Where did the macros last cross? Down here. So I'll put us a line in the sand so we know where to go back to. Last time the 513 crossed was right here, actually right there. Where's the zone? Right on top of it. So there's our support. And if we come into that, we can trade it. Go back to our line in the sand. Okay, so here's where we're at. Moving forward, flat, 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 nothing to trade, squeezing down. 513 cross was right here. The zone is right here. The trade is right there. Good stuff. Good reversal trade. Let's keep going. Overshot, no trade. Did we get a trade here? Let's see. Okay, there's the cross. Where are we at? We're right at the lows. Like it's already tagged the lows. We got no room to trade this one. So no trade on this. Sorry, M2K minimum trade is 30, not 15. I'm so used to looking at gold at this point. This would be a no trade for me though, because it was already right at the lows. Okay, there's the cross. Again, we're already at the lows. So no trade for me. And that's, you can see they tagged the lows and bounced. There's the reversal trade. Didn't work. That would have been a stop out. Let's keep going. Never got the cross back down. There it is. Did we tag the 144? Nope. So no trade on the trend. There's another zone from the other day. Of course, that one works. What time was this zone? 9:42. Yeah, that's over 24 hours. So no trade for me. Let's go to the next day. Last time these crossed up is here and there, and that's the 513 cross. This is not a higher high to lower low, so this is the zone right here. Let me do this. Hang on a second. Trend is the easiest so far, I think. Yeah. This one is technically valid as a micro trade. It didn't tag the 144. It clearly made a new high, came down, the 13 didn't cross, and that would be right here is where the 513 cross happened. So that would be the trade right there. Minimum trade is 30 ticks, and that would have been the trade. Let's keep going. Crossing under, didn't tag the macros. tagged it there. There's the cross. So the trade would be right here. Let's measure it out. Do we got room to trade it? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It barely hits target, but it does go. 3 o'clock, no trades. So starting to come together for you guys. Starting to see it, hopefully. Cross right there. There's the reversal zone. There it is. Yeah, this one 8:30, so no trades, but yeah, I think we're good. I think we'll go ahead and call it. It's been a long session. We've already been 2 hours into this here, so I think we're going to go ahead and call it a day. And we'll come back tomorrow morning. We'll trade it all together. If you Yeah, if you need help, take your time through this, go through the rules, plot them out on the chart, spend time plotting these trades on the chart, and it'll become more clear as you do it. I think it's really hard to just watch somebody else do it the whole time and go, "Oh yeah, I get it." No, I think you need to do it yourself and plot them out, look at the rules one by one. Don't try to do all three at the same time, obviously, at first. And spend time plotting these out on the chart. Look for them, and you'll see them, like this. This would be the micro right here. And as you get more accustomed to it, that would have been a stop out, but it's going into the open. Um, yeah, but as you spend time with it, you'll get more familiar with it. So just take your time, practice with it, just like anything, and it'll come together. So don't sweat it. Um, this one. Yeah, yeah, I would have traded this one. It's right about 0.5 to the target on the highs. Yeah, practice makes progress. Maybe not perfect, but definitely progress. I don't know how soon they're able to post these because they do have to buffer for like an hour or 2 hours or something. I don't know. It takes a while before they finally are ready for us to download. So, yeah, but we'll get them loaded as soon as possible. Yeah, so for the rest of the week, we'll be tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll be trading it in the private sessions together. So we will see you there tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. See you there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Catch you soon. Take care.